an attack. Attack of the spotlight. Watching movies every night. Attack of the spotlight. Yeah. Attack of the spotlight. Attack of the spotlight. Stop the bad guys and get the girl. Rad superhero saving the world. Get scared, get scared. Fight for your life. Stay away from the psycho dude with the knife. Everything go wrong that can go wrong, and it's funny as hell, make us laugh so long. Fall in love and start a romance. Grab your partner for this heartfelt dance. Underdogs coming for the win. Exorcists make your head spin. There's wise Jedis and dirty Klingons racing so fast, boy, you better hang on. Head back to the future, back to the past. Don't let them rowdy punks karate your ass. Gang of thieves with heights of the century. Mother Nature's the star in a documentary. Sharks and more sharks, snakes and critters. Got bedroom eyes, baby, come hit her. Ride the planes, the trains, and the automobiles. Here comes Khan, man with a hell of a deal. Princesses and robots and toys come alive. Dinosaurs and zombies and top secret spies. Watching movies every night. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Spotlight. It is review time. My name is John Horton.
And I am Kyle Pearson, and we have 4 movies and TV shows that we think you may or may not be interested in, one of which we both saw. We'll give you both of our opinions on, and a few that we saw on our own, and you're only going to get one, but it'll make it go that much faster. So won't that be a nice delight and a nice change of pace? The first one is Ladies First, as a matter of fact. It's on Netflix. Stars Sacha Baron Cohen, who, of course, you remember from Borat and Bruno, and Rosamund Pike. They play the same role, but just at different times. Sacha Baron Cohen works at this business. He's high up the ladder. He's a very male chauvinistic person. He looks down on women, and it's basically a man's world that he lives in until he hits his head and wakes up, and now everything is changed. The world is now run by women. The person that he was kind of ridiculing at work is now his boss, and he's got to figure out how to navigate a women-heavy, women-owned, women-empowered world. And I thought it was actually quite a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was fun to see the different takes. There's been other films kind of like this. You see different switches going on. There was the one with Mel Gibson where he could hear what women think about him and got a different opinion of that. It was Delirious with John Candy, where he hit his head and woke up in his own soap opera. That was fun. But this one is taking an approach from, okay, what if the roles were reversed and women were in charge? And this isn't your typical Sacha Baron Cohen vehicle. Usually when he's starring, it's going to be very outlandish. There's going to be some very bizarre shit going on. That doesn't happen here. There's a few scenes that are mild compared to what he would normally do. But I think in most part, there might be some women who generally don't like his type of comedy who would love this particular movie just because of the whole theme of it, and maybe have a new appreciation for Sacha Baron Cohen himself. What do you think, John?
I loved it.
Good.
I fucking loved this movie. I was looking for I wasn't quite looking for his over-the-top comedy, but I was looking for something close, looking at it, thinking it was going to be close to that. But God, I love what they did with it. I loved every single moment of the movie. I thought it was great. I think the chemistry between the two leads was extraordinary. Mm-hmm. They both had great charisma in both worlds, both in the man world and in the woman world. And I'd love to see more. It kind of reminded me, I felt a little bit like initially when I was going into it, after he bonked his head, I was like, this is kind of like a Shallow Hal, just on
Oh yeah,
a little
yep, yep. I
different
forgot about.
spectrum here. But oh man, I loved this movie. I thought it
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, Shallow Hal. Yeah, that's a better example than the ones I gave for sure. You're right. You're right about that.
And it's a
And
Jack Black movie that is Shallow Hal.
that's right. Um, this, I think, is one of the few times where I wanted more. Even when a movie was over, I'm like, I could go another 15 minutes or so. Where a lot of movies, I'm just looking at the time, I'm like, Jesus, when will this be over? And yeah, this one I wanted more. It was so funny and it never really slowed down. So I was always thoroughly entertained. And yeah, I think the chemistry was great. And it's definitely one of the funnier films that I've seen, especially on a streamer. Because usually the comedies on streamers are a little hard to get through. It was kind of coincidental because the last thing we saw Sacha Baron Cohen in was in Balls Up on Prime, which was about the condom that also goes over the balls.
Yeah.
And in this one, there's a underwear that has a special pouch for balls. So it was kind of funny that
bra.
yeah, exactly. So the last two movies that he's in have, so somehow that's probably the scene that is the closest to his normal stuff. But no, it's there's nothing gross in it. It's actually very funny. There's some women that probably I would love to see the outtakes. There's a scene where he's tried to seduce a boss because now it's the man's world, so now or the woman's world, so now the man's gotta do whatever he can to work his way up the corporate ladder. And so she was getting very turned on by him, and it was just so funny. And it's nothing she's probably ever performed before, and you could tell she was having the best time reversing these roles. So yeah, I would absolutely love. I was pissed because I'm like, okay, the credits have to have bloopers in it. Please have a gag reel on it, and they did not. So I think that's the one thing that they dropped the ball on. I really would have liked to seen a gag reel on there.
That, and I think they dropped the ball on one other thing that they could have done. I thought when one of the songs came on, I thought, now wait a minute, this was normally sung by a guy, now it's sung by a woman. And that other song that they did was sung by a guy, but it was sung by, are they making all the songs in the woman's world sung by women that were originally by men? And then I remember the Bee Gees song.
Yeah. No, I thought the same thing because as soon as they woke up, I was telling, and they were playing a song. I told my wife, I'm like, you know what? They should have had a female singing this song, not a male. And they should. That was we picked up the exact same thing because I'm like, that was one touch that would have improved it. And I think also because we just saw another show, and every was that Paradise. All the songs in it are songs that are sung by other people. But now it's like a slow, different version. But it's like if it's a man that was saying it was a female this time. And I'm like, okay. Which is, I think, maybe what also triggered it with me faster. I'm like, oh, this would be a good opportunity to do something like that.
Right.
So it's like, okay, it's no longer the Bee Gees. Now it's, whatever the female version of the Bee Gees could have been.
The CDs.
There you go. There you go. That'd be cross-dressers. so that's fine too. That's fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I should have wrote that down when it happened because that would have been a nice twist. So
and it was cool to see the way the woman's world, all the advertising in the magazines. Instead of having the sexy woman on there, it's the guy who's all slutted out.
Yeah,
like Burger Queen instead of Burger King.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was.
Yeah, because I remember was Hardee's or Carl's Jr. they kept having these commercials with, women in scantily, clothes things for, fast food place. And you're like, okay, flip it around, So there's nothing in there that isn't something that men have done to women.
Exactly.
Because you're sitting there watching, you're like, well, I guess that is true, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, it was very funny, and my wife loved it too. So definitely, I think whether you're a male or a female, there's going to be some comedy in store for you. That's Ladies First on Netflix. Now, the big one in theaters that came out the exact same day is The Mandalorian and Grogu. John did not see this. I think John's pretty much given up on Star Wars.
I have.
At this point. What was the last one you saw?
Episode 3.
Episode 3. Okay. So
and I don't even remember what the thing was. Was that Revenge of the Sith?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
See, you're still on top of it. So Star Wars has gone through a variable roller coaster because of the prequels, and then the sequels, and it's been an interesting ride. I've had my favorites, and I've had my ones where I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? I bought 200 tickets when I had, I used to own a website that had Force in the title. I won't say the website because I don't own it anymore, and I don't know what kind of site it is anymore. So I don't want to send you to the site. But I stood in line for hours and bought 200 tickets to Star Wars that I gave out to the people in line. They did not know that they were going to get free tickets to the movie. We all waited in line, and then I got up and I made it. Actually, one of the news crews came in and was interviewing me, and that's where I spilled the beans. I'm like, by the way, all these people are going to be seeing it for free because I'm buying all the tickets. So I gave out all these tickets. We go to episode 1 the day it came out, and I remember the theater was very quiet. And I think the only reaction that episode 1 got was when they were talking about this droid, and he goes, he is R2-D2. And people, oh, it's R2-D2, which they all knew anyway because it was R2-D2. That was the only reaction that film got. And wow. I remember at the end, we're all looking at each other like, oh. And I was like, man, okay. All right. It's been a long 17 years waiting for that. But, trade disputes is fun to talk about too. And it was also interesting because George himself obviously started with 4, 5, and 6 because he thought those were the more interesting ones. So to go back and say, all right, here's the stuff that I left out. And I have there's some comic books that I have that they made off of the original Star Wars script. And it's completely different, but it talks a lot about stuff that was in episode 1. And you're like, okay, you can see where that's the stuff that he originally had involved in the script. And then he's like, no. Well, some things should have remained edited out, I guess. And then I like 2, and then I can see where, like, if you like 3, because even though to me 5 is the best, Empire Strikes Back, there's all the mystery, you find out a lot of stuff. If you watch them in order, that means nothing because you know all of it from the prequels.
Right.
3 is really the most dramatic one because the guy that you've been rooting for all of a sudden turns into a bad guy. And to us, it wasn't that big a deal because we knew he was going to turn into a bad guy because we saw it the other direction, So I can see why different people like different things. And then the sequels came out. We had a prequel here and there with Solo and Rogue One and all these series. I'm like, okay, whatever. Some of the series I like, some of them not so much. Of the series, I think I do like Mandalorian and Grogu the best. I really liked Rogue One, the film. I wasn't as keen on Andor, but a lot of people like it. So anyway, this movie comes out, and I was interested what other people were going to say because I thought maybe it was going to get trashed, and it's not. It's not. It's the least successful film that's live action by just a couple million, but the reviews seem to be pretty good. People are saying it's a lot of fun. Fantastic, because I want there to be a huge Star Wars family. Everybody has their favorites. I remember going back and rewatching episode 1, and there was this child that had some physical, mental issue. He was sitting in front of me, laughing, quoting it, his favorite film. He had a little Jar Jar Binks, and I'm like, see, we're all part of the same family. I don't have to like episode 1, but he likes episode 1, but we're all part of the Star Wars family. I was really hoping to like The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh boy, here
I love little Grogu.
the whole story has been leading up
to this.
To this, what feels like the huge disappointment.
Yes. So I've been to Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to the next Star Wars Celebration. It took 6 computers to do it because me, my wife, and my sister all were on multiple computers, and one of them actually got us through in order to get tickets for the 4 days. Wow. The other ones took hours. We left a couple on just to see how long it would take. And we're like, holy cow. So, and I was not going to be able to do it, and I was able to do it the last minute. So had I not done it, we might not have gotten all the tickets. So I'm a fan. I am a fan. Again, I've got my favorites. I didn't find the new film as intriguing as, well, my wife liked it. The people online I'm seeing really like it. They're saying it's fun. Okay. To me, first of all, Dave Filoni is the one who directed the Clone Wars movie, the animated Clone Wars movie. That movie is about Jabba the Hutt's son gets kidnapped. So they have to rescue Jabba the Hutt's son. And meanwhile, Jabba the Hutt's son's actually the small baby version of the big Hutt, and he carries him on his back through the whole movie. This Mandalorian Grogu, again, we've got Grogu carrying on the back, just like we saw with Clone Wars. The premise of this movie is Jabba the Hutt's son has been kidnapped.
Are you serious?
That's a goddamn story.
Are you serious?
And this is Dave Filoni's first live action film.
And it's basically ripping off
his own movie. It's the same exact different things happen. But I'm like, that seems like an interesting way to go. Maybe he was such a fan of the thing. He's like, man, I really wish I could make this live action. Yeah. Now, granted, now the kid is an adult, but still, it's fun. It's the same kid, and we're going back and saving the same kid who's been kidnapped. So I'm like, huh, okay. But beyond that, and this one is Filoni wrote it. It's directed by Jon Favreau, who did Iron Man. I love Iron Man. Iron Man actually is, I think, probably my favorite superhero film. And it's about a guy in a mask, just like Mandalorian. The difference is there's some personality in Iron Man that you don't see in Mandalorian, because Mandalorian is pretty much a one-note character. He's, oh, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, okay. It's not like, oh, no, we're going to do this, or I'm going to tell you the joke about this, or there's the personality is kind of thin, where Iron Man, not also, plus even when he's in the mask, you also see his face under the mask.
Right.
So the character itself, even in the series, it seemed like all the supporting actors are more interesting to me because they have more depth than the lead. And I like Pedro Pascal. He does fantastic work. If you haven't seen him in the Nicolas Cage film, he's really funny in it.
Still got to watch that one.
Yeah, it's funny. It's really good. But I never really thought that character was that interesting in itself because there's no, whatever. I'm already going to have people hating me. I'm right there with you. I'm not one of the haters. I don't have a problem with Kathleen Kennedy. Everybody had a problem with the Disney thing and Kathleen Kennedy. I think Kathleen Kennedy is as responsible for the bad Star Wars movies as Steven Spielberg is for the bad Transformers movies. They're producers. They're not the directors. They didn't write them. So I don't have a problem. But I just, and this one is more of a creature feature because he fights a creature. And then he fights another one. And then he fights another one. And then he fights a bigger one. Then he fights more of them. Then he fights some underwater. Then he fights a droid. Then he fights multiple droids. Then he fights bigger droids. And it's like, holy crap, we're in a... Is there a surprise here? Are we going to expand on the lore? And it never really did it for me. And there's also, and another thing, this is stupid. This is stupid. I know people are going to say, oh, you're being nitpicky. I know. I'm admitting it now. There's this funny scene where they slide the Mandalorian, Grogu, and this might be a spoiler.
Oh, you can't lead up to it.
Fast forward 2 minutes. Fast forward 2 minutes. I'll be done in 2 minutes. So fast forward 2 minutes now. So little Grogu builds this little mud hut that's just big enough to cover up the Mandalorian so he can slide the Mandalorian in there so the people looking for him won't find him while he's unconscious because he's unconscious for a little bit. Okay. So he's still in his full armor. He's under this thing completely covered. So then later you see him out of it walking around and he's like, oh, he's doing good. Fantastic. And they show back to the mound that he made that is perfectly undisturbed. If it's just big enough to cover his body. He is in full armor. How did he edge his way all the way out of this thing? Because I thought the joke was going to be he's going through all this trouble to cover up, and then he's just going to, lean up. I feel, okay, I'm good. And then he was going to be like, all this work I did, and you just ruined it. And nothing's disturbed. I'm like, how did he get out of there? And this is something I shouldn't have been thinking about if I had been more entertained.
No, that would have pissed me off. That would have bothered the shit out of me.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, how did he get out? And it's so silly. But I'm sitting there for a good 10 minutes because I'm sitting there like, well, what the frick is going on? So I should have been involved. And the thing is, I'm like, okay, you can have a movie like Nobody, and it's just boom, 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 and it doesn't have to be a lot of plot. It can just be fun. I'm not a monster movie guy. Godzilla versus all the Titans doesn't really impress me. I like a couple of the Jurassic Parks that really get into the story. But when it's, the later ones in each trilogy where it's just running around, dinosaurs throwing dinosaurs into each other, I lose interest. I'd like the story that has to go with it, not just the dinosaurs, So I think it's just because it's this constant, creature feature. I'm waiting for, because when you watch the original Star Wars, you're like, okay, there's the thing where Luke's learning about the Force. There's the trench scene. There's the TIE fighters, the scene. There's them in the Millennium Falcon, learning from Obi-Wan with the blast shield down. There's the where you're in
compactor.
There's the trash compactor. There's all these different elemental scenes that together with all these different characters, make a really in-depth movie. And this is like, we're going to fight this monster, we're going to fight this monster, we're going to, even if you say, like, what's your favorite scene? Oh, the one where he fought the monster. Which one? it's well, this monster because it's bigger, or this monster because it's under, like, okay, there's just not enough depth for me. It'd probably be a great film for kids, but then I say that, and there's a ton of adults saying how much fun they had. And again, fantastic. I want more people that like Star Wars, the better. This just is probably in my lower tier of films. I'm not sure it's dead last.
What would be dead last?
Episode 1 is dead last for me.
Okay.
I'd actually have to go back and watch episode 1 again to see which one, because I do really like Grogu. He's cute. So Grogu's cuteness may keep it above episode 1.
More so than the kid? More so than young Anakin?
Oh, I didn't care for young Anakin. The thing, I always thought, though, I'm like, we're talking about Darth Vader. Blah, blah, blah. Never once while I was watching Darth Vader, I'm like, I wonder what his home life was when he grew. If different things had happened, this may not,
Right.
So, but it's just, it's my personal take. Again, I'm not telling anybody not to go see this movie. It's Star Wars. Go see it. By the way, Star Wars isn't even in the title. It's just the Mandalorian and Grogu. The poster says Star Wars. The movie itself does not. The music's also odd. It's like 3 different points. The music gets techno. It's like a techno version of the theme, and I'm like, it's like when Doctor Who went into the 80s and they changed the tune, and you're like, yeah, okay, but it seemed a little off. Like, well, if they were in a nightclub, maybe it would have been fine. But all right, whatever. But so anyway, I'm a fan. I'm not a hater. This one just didn't do for me what I was hoping it would do. And now my fingers are really crossed that the Ryan Gosling one next year, and they didn't even have a scene for that. I'm like, okay, I know you're shooting the thing. Show me, give me a trailer for the next one. Right. They didn't even do that. And there's no post-credit scenes. If you're waiting to see if there's going to be a teaser for something else, there isn't. So
do any of the newer Star Wars have
No, I don't think any of them have. I think maybe the series did. I think the series, one of the series may have had one, but I don't think any of the movies have ever had a post-credit scene. I may be mistaken, but if it is, I don't even know which one it would be. I think everything that they do is always just before the credits roll. And that was a problem I had also with 8. Because, like, the very last scene, after, it's The Last Jedi, so you're like, okay, we're running out of Jedi, we're finally at the end, and then there's this little boy, and he puts his hand out, and this broom goes into his hand, and you're like, oh, this is never going to end, is it? And I don't, it's one of those things like, do I want it to end? No, it's nice to keep having them on, but this is another, like when the movies used to come out, and you wanted tickets, you had to buy them way in advance, because if you didn't, you had to wait a week to see the movie. Right. We were going to go Thursday night when it opened, and we didn't just because Paula was sick. I did look to see how many people were in the theater that we were going to go to, and there was 9. It was 45 minutes before the movie, and there was 9 people that had bought tickets. Opening night. God. The next day, we were going to go. She still didn't feel great. I checked the theater for that showtime. 3 people were in it. So we ended up going Saturday morning, and with us included, there were 9 again. 9 total people in the theater. And I'm like, oh my God. And I know it's in a lot of theaters, but
every one of them should be packed.
Yes, it should be packed for weeks.
Star Wars movie.
It is. And that's the thing. I'm like, what has happened? It's, but at the same time, I'm usually there opening night, and I wasn't. it took me a couple days to get to it, but I used to be there before it would open. I would host advanced screenings through the radio station that I set up or the TV stations so I could see it ahead of time. Because, and I don't know if I ever brought this up on the air. My freaking teacher, I forget what year it was, but Mr. Jaffe was my teacher. I had him like 3 times. 2nd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Anyway, he had gotten the book before the movie came out. So we've waited 3 years to find out what happened to Han, who the other one is. You know, is Darth Vader really Luke's father? We've been waiting 3 years. So my teacher, who read the book, the day I was supposed to see the movie,
oh my God,
he's writing on the board, and he goes, okay, 2 plus 2, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Darth Vader is Luke's father. Da, 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 da. Oh, and Leia is his sister. Da, da, da. And I'm like, what? Oh, and Leia dresses up as a bounty hunter and saves Han. I'm like, this better not be true. This better not be true, and you're just fucking with us.
That cocksucker.
That son of a bitch. We go to the movie, and I'm like, son of a bitch. So as soon as I see the one, the bounty, I'm like, that's going to be Leia. If this, what he's saying is true, that's going to be like, damn, it's Leia. That was... So at that point, I'm like, I am never waiting to see another Star Wars movie. I'm either seeing it in advance or I'm seeing it the very first show. And this one, we did not buy advance tickets to begin with. And then Paul was sick, but there's really not much to spoil because there's not a lot that happens, unfortunately. But for those of you who've seen it, enjoy it. I'm not against it. I'm not saying it's an awful movie. I'm just saying it's not my type of Star Wars film. I do love Grogu, and I wish all the very best because I've been a fan so long. I don't like it when people talk down to Star Wars.
Right. That teacher. Please tell me you took him in an apple with a razor blade in it.
No. He died on his own.
Not like we condone that.
No, he died on his own accord. In fact, there was a whole number of issues with that particular teacher that came out in the years that followed. I probably shouldn't have said his name, but oh well, it's out there. So, anywho, he actually would bring in photos of him with the Playboy bunnies from the bunny club, from Lansing's Bunny Club, and he would show us photos.
Oh my God.
And we were what, 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade? I'm like, that doesn't seem appropriate. And he would have the girls give him back massages when we played games.
The students?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. I should, yeah, if he was alive, I definitely wouldn't have said his name. It's all over Facebook, though. I posted like our photo, our class composite,
right?
And the girls just went ballistic. Oh my God, he did this to me. He did this to me. I'm like, oh shit, what the hell? If I could, and then I look back and I'm like, I remember that. That's right. So. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was a real cocksucker.
He was. He was something. He was
son of a bitch.
Yeah. It didn't seem like it at the time. He was like really my favorite teacher. I'm like, okay, he's very friendly with everybody. And yeah. So anyway, that was The Mandalorian and Grogu, the latest Star Wars adventure.
Before we move on, I'm just kind of floored and disgusted that there was only like 9 people in there.
Yeah, I was like, this is not this is not Star Wars. Star Wars was an event.
Yes.
And you'd go, and the same with Indiana Jones. It was I remember, it was, you would have, you'd look in the paper to find out, what the showtimes were playing. And Raiders of the Lost Ark, right next to it, was like 42nd big week. And you'd go there and there was a freaking line of people. And you're like, holy crap, this movie's been out for almost a year and there's still a ton of people. Granted, there were fewer theaters then. But still, up until, even through the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, it was still hard to get tickets. And this thing, you could walk in any single time you wanted.
That just is so sad.
Yeah, I know.
That was one of my fond memories of Star Wars, is just seeing it with a packed fucking house.
Yeah. People dressed up, and it was fun. And those days, I don't know if they ever make, episode 10, maybe it'll bring it back again because it's part of the time, the main series as opposed to these offshoots. I mean, I don't know. One thing I never understood with Star Wars in the first place is they've had multiple series and multiple animated, but they've never done an actual
puppet show.
Star Wars. Pigs in Space. And Mark Hamill on the Muppets. That was close. But they never had they had Star Wars comic books, but they never had, if you're going to do an animated series of Star Wars, why is Luke, Han, and Leia not in it? To me, that would be a Star Wars thing. The only time they've ever done anything like that was the holiday special. That's the only time they got everybody together on TV. They had a Droids cartoon. They had the Ewoks. Now they've got all these in the time period, but we're not really, dealing. And now you could do an animated one and still have Mark Hamill voice. You're not going to get Harrison Ford to voice Han, and you'll have to. You could get Carrie Fisher's daughter. She could do Leia, but the animated ones they have now don't have all the voices. So that would be, to me, the Star Wars you would want to follow.
Right.
Instead, because that was the thing they had the issue with the hotel. There was the Star Wars hotel. And for 2 days, you stay in this, completely immersive. Everyone that works there is an actor. And it's like you're on a spaceship in space. You look out the windows, you're in space. You see fights. You go to the wall, you ask a question, and a droid comes on and answers the question. You ask for a bedtime story. It tells you the story of Star Wars, but by the droid's perspective, because it's a droid telling the story. They're like, well, let's talk about our heroes C-3PO and R2-D2. And you've got singers, and it's like Greedo's race, and the lips are still moving. You're like, how the hell are they doing all this? And the food is, it's regular food, but they make it in a way that looks like it would be, from a different planet. And you go to the retail people, and they are, they have backstories, and you're communicating with backstories. And the First Order comes on and sabotages the ship, so you have to solve puzzles to solve the ship. And then you get in an asteroid thing, and you take control of the asteroids, and then you play Baccarat. And it was the coolest experience I've ever had, and it only lasted a year. Because people were bitching because it didn't have Han, Luke, and Leia in it. It had the sequel trilogy people. And I'm like, they're only in it a couple minutes. This is a 48-hour, nonstop, immersive event. And you're upset because, and the one character that's in it the most is Chewbacca. And I'm like, okay, Chewbacca's still in here? Quit bitching. And it was expensive. But it probably costs as much to do that as it is going to cost us to go to this fan convention. So it's just weird that, people are upset about certain things. And I'm like, okay, I like this over this, but it's not going to stop me from enjoying the entire thing. I'm still a fan. So
Right.
it's, it is what it is, I guess.
It
One other
is.
thing before we move on, I know this because I want to talk about because Spaceballs 2 and History of the World Part 2, Mel Brooks has also announced they're doing Very Young
Young
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Do we need that?
Well, here's the thing. Here's why I don't think it's a big deal. Because I know a lot of people are upset because, like, okay, now you're going to do a younger version of Gene Wilder. It's not connected. From what I read, it's kind of like the Time Bandits thing they did. It's not connected to the other Time Bandits. There was a 6 or 8 episode thing. I think it was on Prime.
Right.
It's not connected. It's a completely different story, which I thought actually was fun. I liked the movie, but I also thought the series was interesting. So it's going to be a completely different story. So it might be a very young version of the actual Frankenstein as opposed to Frankenstein's offspring, a younger version of that. So we don't know what they're going to do with it.
Okay.
But supposedly it's a whole new take. So it's not,
Right.
now you're going younger. And I know somebody, online was saying, well, Mel Brooks is just trying to, it's a money grab. Brooks is 99 years old. He's going to die
Soon.
soon. Any day he could pass away. His best friend was Carl Reiner, who died a few years ago, I don't remember how long ago it was. And every night, him and Carl would make TV dinners or have food ordered and watch Jeopardy, I think, or Wheel of Fortune. That's what they did every single night. And then his best friend died. Then his best friend's son gets murdered by his best friend's grandson. Allegedly, but whatever.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So anyway, there's been he has his friends are dead. His friend's son's dead. What else is he going to do? And he's like, okay, I want to keep making movies. This is what makes me have fun. I love making movies. So if he wants to make another sequel to this or a prequel to that or a retelling of this, I say so frickin' be it. Man's 99 years old. Let him do whatever the hell he wants.
Exactly.
And I hope it's good. It might not be, but if it's not, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, just don't fucking watch it.
Yeah. Don't watch it or say, okay, well, I saw that once. I still have Young Frankenstein. I can pull it anytime I want. I still have Spaceballs 1. I can watch it anytime I want. I hope they're funny because I don't like to sit there and like I did and say, how the hell did he get out of that mud hole? I want to be entertained the whole damn time. So cut a 99-year-old man who's given you more laughs than probably any other person on the face of the planet some slack.
Exactly.
That's what I want to tell people.
Exactly.
Do we need a very young Frankenstein? No.
Well, see, I was going with. I thought
but
that
can we have one? Fine.
I thought it was going to be like a prequel to the movie with Gene Wilder, and I'm like, what can you really do there?
Well, that's
If
what
it's
it's like. Yeah, no, and I agree. Because I think it sounds like it, but I don't think that's what they're doing. Because it says it's a reimagining or something.
Yeah.
So
It's a something.
So I hope, but no,
I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot.
I like Taika Waititi, whatever. I've heard you pronounce this. I said I mispronounced his last name. Who also, by the way, was involved in the Time Bandits thing. Did you watch the Time Bandits series?
No, I wanted to, and then I got to look at the trailer, and I went, no, this ain't my Time Bandits.
No, it's definitely not the original. I do prefer. Well, the thing about it is, I rewatched the original. There's a lot of stuff in that. I'm like, man, this is a lot weirder than.
Yeah.
So I wasn't laughing as much as I remembered laughing. And I think in the new one, I think it's funnier
Wow.
than the original. But I think the original was more creative. But yeah, there's certain things I'm like, oh, this should be like this, and this should be like this. And then once I finally got that over my head, but it ended, I think, on a cliffhanger, if I recall, and they
Oh,
canceled
shit.
it. So I'm like, well, son of a bitch.
I
So,
fucking hate that.
but
Did the series have midgets in it?
it did, but they weren't in the same roles as they were in that.
Okay.
I think we're back to the little people discussion. Because yeah, I thought it was going to be little people running around, and there wasn't. I was like, wait a minute, and I'm like, well, I guess they don't have to be. But it was still funny, and I think there was other ones in it. I think there were some different throwbacks to the original. It's kind of like The Burbs. It was somewhat like the movie. There's throwbacks to the movie. So the same with Mandalorian. There's a bunch of Easter eggs in there to the other movies, and that I liked. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But
Right. I just said the M word just to get you going.
that's fine.
I didn't really care if there was in the movie or not.
I
I just wanted to see you get on edge again.
Well, I remember the Snow White thing. Everybody had a fit because they saw that the dwarves weren't played by little people, but that's because they were going to be digitally replaced by digital dwarves that look like the animated dwarves. So there, that was the whole thing. I didn't see the movie, but
Yeah.
oh, well.
It's still horrible. They should have had little people in those roles. Anyway,
Anyway,
let's move.
let's move on.
I'm
Hold
going
on.
to talk about
Before we do anything, do you hear that?
or what?
Oh, it's fireworks. I kept hearing something. It's fireworks. It's Memorial Day fireworks at Six Flags.
Ah.
So,
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Right.
I'm going
No
to
problem.
step back. Let you do your thing.
The next movie we are going to be talking about is The Home. That is on Hulu. It was in theaters very recently, just this past year. Stars Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live, which was very interesting to see him in a serious role. This one is Pete Davidson is got his last chance before they send him to jail. He's got one final break before they say, we're done with you, you're going to jail. He's going to do community service. And that community service is going to be done at an old folks retirement home. Unfortunately, there's just something very wrong with the retirement home. It's a lengthy movie. I might be damn near 2 hours long. But the movie, you spend most of it trying to figure out what's going on. They have strange events happening. He sees some strange things. He's got weird, strange dreams. And the whole time you're trying to figure out what is going on in this place. But when you finally figure it out, when they finally unveil what is wrong with this place, movie goes fucking batshit fucking crazy. It is insane. And I was cheering for it all. This was a really good flick. I really enjoyed it. Up until the ending, very suspenseful. Very much, you're trying to catch little clues of shit and trying to figure out why is that person acting like that? Or why are all these older people on the fourth floor just sitting around in chairs drooling on themselves? What's going on here? And then, like I said, when you find out what it is, it's like, wow. And then shit hits the fan, man. It just balls to the fucking wall. It's what Kyle would call bonkers. Because it goes bonkers. And it is bloody.
Is it on streaming? Which streamer is it?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Hulu. Okay. All right.
It's definitely worth watching. I think you would enjoy it, Kyle.
Okay.
I mean, it's Pete Davidson in a non-comedic role. no comedy in this fucking movie. None.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's just pretty intense atmosphere and then sheer chaos and bedlam.
Okay.
That's bonkers.
I will definitely check that out. The one I'm trying to find, and I don't know, maybe it's on Stars. Cold Storage.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that too. I was going to see it in theaters, and then it was gone like as fast as it showed up, and I haven't seen it on a streamer, so I'm assuming it's on one I don't have. So it might be Stars, but yeah, I want to check that one out because that supposedly I've heard very good things about it.
Yeah.
So we'll check that out. So that was The Home on Hulu. It's easy to
And what
read.
pisses me off is there was I'm extremely happy. Both me and my wife watched The Home, and she loved it more than I did.
Okay.
But what pisses me off is, first off, goddamn Google Gemini telling me a fucking movie is available for free, and it's not fucking available for free. I started watching The Home at work, and I realized I really need to see this on a bigger screen. But when I looked up,
You didn't realize that maybe you should have been doing work?
who you kidding? No, it was a slow day. So I'm watching the damn thing on my phone,
Okay.
and it really needed a bigger screen. But when I looked up on Hulu and I seen at work The Home, there was another horror movie right fucking next to it that I was like, ooh, me and Stacy will want to watch that. Do you think it's right there next to it when I turn on Hulu today to watch a movie? Nope. I have no idea what the fucking name of the movie was, and it's gone. And I go down to, oh, new movies just arrived. The Home isn't even fucking listed there.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
I just go ahead.
This movie just got added. Why is it not in your new movie section? For fuck's sake.
Yeah, some of these I've had two issues with series lately. One was Cheers. I bought Fanflix had Cheers the entire series, all 11 seasons, $20.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, because I had a lot of them to begin with, but I didn't have all of them. I'm like, well, for $20, I can have it digitally and I can pull it up without having to deal with the discs and all that crap. So I bought that, and it's when I go to Fandango at home, first you got to go into your library, then you got to go over to TV, then you got to go into Cheers bundle, then you got to go into the series number, and then you got to go find the episode that you left off on, and then click it. Instead of, where the streamers, they'll just like, continue watching, you click it, and we just go. I'm like, okay, Fandango at home, you gotta implement that, because for something that was supposed to be easier, it almost feels like I could pick up the disc and stick it in just as quickly as I could doing it that way. The other thing is, and this is my last show I'm going to talk about, I mentioned watching I Literally Just Told You, hosted by Jimmy Carr. It's got 3 seasons, technically. There's 5 episodes in one season, 5 episodes in season 2, and 1 Christmas special in season 3, and that's it. I guess there's a 4th season coming, but it's not there yet. Regardless, on Prime, when you watch this episode, the next one goes up until it gets to season 2, and it never showed up. So every time I had to do a search, or I eventually added it to my list once I realized this was going to keep happening. And then pulling it back up and watching it until it got to the end of season 2, and then it's the season 3 one popped up. So for some reason, the entire season 2 wouldn't be in my continue watching playlist at all. And I'm like, again,
Come on, Amazon Prime, get with it.
Exactly. I mean, you guys are, all these services. If you want people to keep watching shows, you have to make them easy, because we're getting to a point where we don't want to have to look for anything.
Exactly.
We want it there. Just give it.
We want it now.
We want it now. So to speak about I literally just told you. I know I brought it up when I had seen an episode or two before. I have now seen every episode, and now I really implore people to watch this show because it gets funnier as they go on. Because they also learn some lessons. Like, okay, let's throw in some funny stuff. So, one episode just to give you an idea on how this differs from American game shows is they have the categories like, okay, your answer will be one of these three answers. They are lighthouses, librarians, lesbians. And the question is, so you're already laughing. You're like, well, that seems odd. And then he says, he makes a joke and he says, of course, both lighthouses and lesbians are designed to repel semen. And then he goes, while librarians are. My God, this is a game show.
That's fucking funny.
And then you should see the Christmas. I'm not going to give anything away for the Christmas special, but maybe I will. No, you should watch the Christmas special because they take. He even makes a joke about it, like, "Welcome to your Christmas special," because yes, no, I can't tell you. You got to see it. It's funny,
Right.
but it's inappropriate like that to another level.
Oh,
And you're like, oh my God. And it is a funny show that's just, okay, you know what? We're going to joke, we're going to have fun, and anything goes. And the whole premise of the show is most of the questions are based on things that they literally just told you. It's things that happened in the thing. So he'll talk to somebody off camera and say, for lunch, Joe, I'm going to want the Szechuan chicken from Charlie's. And then they'll turn around and then people would not necessarily pay attention. And he goes, okay, what was the name of the restaurant I asked for Szechuan chicken from? And then they're like, oh, crap, I wasn't paying attention to that. Chunky's? No, it was Charlie's. Okay. And they also, anytime he makes a joke about something, that might end up being a question. What did Jimmy Carr say both lesbians and lighthouses repel? and that was actually one of the jokes.
really?
One of the questions. So like, oh, that's right, the semen. So, and there's only 11 episodes total, so you can go through. The least good one of the bunch is the first one. It keeps that was the one where they're trying to make sure it all works and stuff, so it kind of lays the land. But then each one just keeps getting funnier, and it's if you want to see a game show with no rules,
that sounds like it.
It is funny, and it's on regular television there.
They're crazy over there. The shit they get away with.
Yeah, there was a streaker in one of the episodes.
Really?
They had this like 80-year-old woman run through naked.
Oh my God. Speaking of old people naked, The Home.
Yes.
John Glover. That's all I'm
Naked?
going to say.
John Glover's naked?
A little bit.
Somebody else was just mentioned that. Oh, he was on our show. Michael McGlynn. He just did his first nude scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to make a joke. I'm like, I don't know if I know him well enough to make a joke. And he'll take offense. He probably would laugh. He
would probably laugh.
Yeah, we seemed like we had a pretty good rapport.
Yes, I think we did.
So, but yeah, I'm interested to see what this, because it's going to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be very comedic.
We're gonna have to see about inviting those two, both him and Dave, on when the Uncle Fred's is getting released.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, because
So keep an eye on that episode coming up in the future.
So when is that movie done? It's
I think they just finished shooting it.
is it done? Well, he just shot his sex. I don't think it's a sex scene. It's a nude scene. Maybe it's a sex scene. I don't know what he does in
could
it.
be.
I think he's going to be running around the forest nude for something.
I think we're gonna.
I envision a Proctor Police Academy 3 situation where he's like, oh no. He'd be a good Proctor. Yeah. I think he'd be a good Proctor.
Yeah. There you go. When we do our Police Academy reimagining,
there you go.
We've got our Proctor.
There we go. There we go.
Now we just need a Steve Guttenberg.
That's the one I want to play. I'd love to play Mahoney, but it's got to be Guttenberg himself, where we can have people like them. I just don't want to replace any of them.
No.
No.
Did you see that this year is the 40th anniversary of Short Circuit?
Is it? Yeah, it have to be.
There's some big convention that is going to have 12 people there, or 16 of them. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think it's 86. So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff. When did we meet? How old were we?
God, I don't remember.
Because whenever we met, at that point, a ton of the movies that we saw together are going to be celebrating their anniversary.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't 85, or we would have seen more of the same stuff. Because every movie we talked about, either one of us or the other one saw it, other than Spies Like Us. And I don't remember what year Fletch came out, but I can't believe you hadn't seen. I still don't know how did a teenage boy see Mannequin 2 on the move and not a Fletch movie? You were hoping for. I know what you were hoping for in that Mannequin movie.
No, I watched Mannequin 2 just recently. I never watched it back then. I specifically watched it for the first time for our Valentine's Day episode.
Really?
Yeah, I never watched it. Man,
that's the story you're going to go with.
I sacrificed.
I had to watch Mannequin because of all the love story films out there. I had to watch Mannequin for Valentine's Day.
But you never thought there'd be a review of Mannequin 2 on the move on our show, did you?
No.
Who else has done a Mannequin 2 on the move review? What other podcasts? If it wasn't for me, Kyle, you would not have that claim to fame.
That's true.
Be part of the podcast.
That's the one that put us over. Now we're officially known from Mannequin 2 on the move.
Absolutely. It's either that or one of the other award winners. Oh, Transylvania 65000. That one might have put us over. Transylvania 65000.
I noticed we stopped that.
We could get back into it. What do you guys think at home? Do you think we should do some more 40th anniversary? Leave a comment.
I think it would be good. Here's my thing. If we did on of movies we actually have seen, instead of having to go back and watching a movie we didn't see.
Well, no.
Because doing Spies Like Us was easy, because I've seen it many times. And I didn't have to even go back and rewatch it. Police Academy 2 and 3, I went back and rewatched anyway. I didn't have to.
Right.
But Death Wish 3, I had to sit through. What's that damn thing? A heckler, juggler? What's that damn character's name? You killed the whatever. There was no need to do that.
God, what the hell was his name?
That was the dumbest line.
It had something to do with laugh, like the chuckler
Yeah,
or the
chuckler. Giggler. The giggler. The giggler. Killed the giggler, man. There's no need to do that, or no call for that, or no reason for. I forget what it was, but they killed the giggler.
They had no business doing that.
See, going back and rewatching something you've never seen, like Death Wish 3 or Transylvania 65000, those are also not your standard movies. That might be people are like, oh, what's this movie about? Let's hear what these guys have to say about this one.
I wonder how many lives we have altered by suggesting. Well, you know what?
Well, Death Wish 3, we got some love on.
I think Casey has been watched some of the stuff because he started watching. I think he did a Living Dead thing just as we were talking about all the Living Deads. So we may have somehow spurred, or it could be just because everyone else talking about them too.
Maybe.
But I have a because it was some other movie once that he watched. I'm like, we were just talking about that. And I was thinking like, oh, you know, that, what a coincidence. And I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't a coincidence. Maybe it was you and I. And his life has been slightly altered. Not in a good way.
I can see a mentorship in the future.
Could be.
It's just this kind of tidbit. This is it's for everybody, but I think Casey would be one. He's who I have in mind that would appreciate this. Bob from House by the Cemetery by Lucio Fulci is making his return to horror movies by being in Ricky Glor's movie Run. So, see, we tie in one of our other friends of the show with their upcoming project, but we also provide information.
You are the exact target demographic for all these Indiegogos. You know the shit that you can, you know, common knowledge stuff. But you bring up a horror movie. You know the stars, the directors, what other stuff they've been in. I'm like, how do you know, I could understand, you know, The Fog or The Thing, but you'll bring up stuff that I have never, ever heard of. And you know what, upside down, backwards? I mean, it is
that well.
It literally way more than I do. I mean, I don't know any of this stuff at all. I'm having trouble remembering the stuff I used to know. I can feel a lot of this information slipping. Like Star Wars. If we went back to Star Wars, I could tell you every character in the original trilogy at one time. Now, you bring up people, and I'm like, what the hell's that from? Well, Star Wars. Which one? It's like the Acolyte. Well, does that count? Like, you know, it was bad enough I'll talk to somebody who read the books. And then they bring up something from the book. I'm like, if it didn't happen on Cellulite, didn't happen. It's got to be in film. Now there's so many of these
Cellulite.
Huh? Oh, Cellulite.
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 If it wasn't filmed on a fat person's belly.
I could show a movie on your butt, fat ass. What was that? Police Academy. I can show a movie on your butt. What was that line? Move it, move it, move it. I can show a movie on your butt, on your ass. I don't know.
Oh, I remember it vaguely, but not completely.
I still say all the time, you're giving me the red ass. I say that to my dogs and my cat. And my wife is like, she'll bring it up everywhere. You're giving me the red ass. And then we're watching Police Academy, I think 2, or whichever one it was in. I think it was 2. She's like, oh, of course, that's where you got it, from a Police Academy movie. And then, we'll watch some other movie, and she's like, you don't come up with anything on your own, do you? Everything I say, I stole from something.
Guys, you're not as creative as you thought you were.
I'm not. I knew I wasn't creative. I knew I've been stealing shit from ages. If it's not from a movie, it's from a comedian. I steal everything.
I was going to ask you too. I forgot all about this. What was your overall take on the Hellraiser series?
Oh,
You just had a marathon within the last 6 months.
not my favorite. Not my favorite. I had seen the first one way back when it came out, and I wasn't impressed with it then. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Same here.
And then this, I don't know, honestly, if I watched any sequels after that at all to begin with. And then I did the Blood Loss movie, and they have the damn box in there. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch them all. So then the second one, they did the reverse, because even the way they bring somebody back wasn't the way it happened in the first one. Because the first one, somebody came back in somebody else's body, and that person was actually the person who died, not...
Oh, yeah.
And then the second one, it didn't do that. The person actually came back that was the person they were trying to bring back.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, you're changing the rules.
Already.
Already. We're in the second film. And then it got even more, preposterous as it went. And then I think the sixth one was like the first one I liked. I'm like, okay, this one's not so crazy. I like this one. I forget what it was about it I liked, but it didn't feel like the other ones, maybe. I was like, okay, people probably hated this one.
Probably.
and I like it. And then the very last one, the very beginning of it, there's this guy typing on something, and it's a different feel and a different vibe. And I'm like, okay, now we have something original again. This I can get into. And then immediately it gets into some weird ass shit where there's these naked women and the sludge pouring on everybody. I'm like, is this supposed to be sexy? Because it isn't. It's just, and it just kept getting grosser and I'm like, what? You had something for a few minutes and then completely pissed it away. And it was, I'm like, man, these are rough. But they got to 10, well, 11 if you count the remake.
Yeah.
I did not watch the remake.
Yeah, I don't. I never liked them at all. Period. I watched them all, but I don't like any of them except for Part 3. Part 3 is probably my favorite of the bunch, but even that one I don't really like that much.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I like the main actress in that one, because she was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I'd like 3 better than 1 and 2. And then because I think it was like the third. It was always the third one. I liked the third one, and then I liked the sixth one, and then I thought I was going to like the 10th one, and then I realized just as soon as I said, "Oh, now we got something," then they turned me off immediately. I was like, oh, crap. So I was hoping I was really going to get into those. Just because of the following. Somebody came to our house on Halloween. I don't know how we got even on the subject. And they started talking about Hellraiser and said, well, I'm much into the lore. And they started talking about some books or something. And then it just started talking. And we're sitting there looking at each other like, is this guy stick around?
What was he doing? Trick or treating?
Yeah. And this guy was 40s. Yeah, it was weird situation. And I'm like, okay, but he was as passionate about it as I was at telling the Star Wars story. So I'm like,
Wow.
okay, anybody who's into it that much, we had a good conversation. It's just that for somebody who was trick or treating or whatever, maybe they had a kid. I don't think they had a kid with them, but either way, they spent a good 20-25 minutes with us and not out doing what they set out to do. So
Wow.
I'm like, well, it seems like, you only got a couple hours to do this. Didn't have a problem with it. It was just, but I've never seen anybody so impassioned for Hellraiser as
Yeah.
I was this gentleman. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Did
But
you give him candy?
we gave everybody candy. We don't care. We don't care if they're kids, teenagers, adult, anyone going out and having fun. And then they come entertaining me dressed up. I'm like, all right, at least you're not, stealing hubcaps or whatever the new thing is. I'm like, okay. Because we always show a movie on the side of our house.
Really?
Yeah, so we had a projector, so we show a movie, and we always try to make it kid friendly. So it'll be like a Ghostbusters or a Casper. We're not showing Saw up there because we know a lot of people are coming and kids. And
I spit on your grave.
yeah, we're not doing that. We had a little girl come up once, and I had this. It was like a zombie torso that was motion activated, and it would crawl up to you on the ground. It would crawl on the ground, and this girl activated it and started chasing her. She was petrified, and I felt so bad. I was like, so we turned it off and we put it in a tree, so we still had it as an effect. But we're like, okay, we're not going to have this run anymore, and yeah, we're not going to show any scary movies. We'll just show kid friendly ones. But it was fun.
Very cool.
But
Very
yeah,
cool.
so yeah, we always just put up some sort of, and we rotate them through. So
Right.
we should put some chairs up. We've actually had some kids wanting to just stay and watch. Oh, it's so and so. The parents are like, "Don't you want candy?" Like, I want to see this. And like, come on, we're out here to get candy. Exactly. So we're in a cul-de-sac, so we actually probably could put up some seats, but
There you go.
that's not what we're there for. Just it's actually more for us. It entertains us. We watch the movie while we wait for the next batch of kids. So
Very cool. Very cool.
you got anything else?
No, I do not. I think we wrapped it up did we make it for, what are we running at time?
Hour plus.
All right. Yeah, I think that should do it for the night. We were all over the place, but in a good way.
Yeah, no, I think there was some tears shed, there were some laughs had, and we did it all. So
Yes, it was an emotional roller coaster for me.
it was. So here's some stuff, and again, tell me whether or not you like Grogu, but don't get on my case. I understand completely. I get it.
No, they're going to get on your case for not liking Hellraiser now.
Yeah, well, that's true. I'm like, what's wrong
You're
with
going to get
that?
nailed from two ends.
That's
You
fine.
should be used to that, though.
Yeah, that's right. My college days.
College days.
Well, I never made it to prison. I kept trying to get arrested, but anyway, in our next, well, maybe not. Sometimes these episodes get out of order. But in a coming episode very soon, we have special guest Erin Marie from Sister Beretta. If you'd like your nuns gun-toting, that's
badass.
and badass and driving a sleek-ass Corvette. She's got the movie for you, and you can be a part of it. We'll tell you all about it when Erin Marie guests on our next episode, or a very soon episode of Attack of the Spotlight. For John Horton, I'm Kyle Pearson. Please check us out on our link tree at Attack of the Spotlight. From there, you can catch our podcast feeds. You can catch our video feeds on YouTube or Facebook. You can catch our store where we talk about, we don't talk about anything we've talked about You can find if it's for sale on Amazon, it's there. And also check out our YouTube channel at Attack of the Spotlight, where we also have free movies that we've talked about, free television episodes. We're building up our playlist, so instead of just watching us, you can also watch some other things that we've discussed as well. So when we can find them for free for you, we'll link to those as well. John,
You need to put Pigs in Space on that playlist.
Pigs in Space.
On the playlist.
Yeah, we'll see if that episode's available. The Mark Hamill episode. Do you have anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
I do not. I'm emotionally spent for the night.
Yes, it's been a long weekend. The holiday is over. We're recording this on the evening of Memorial Day, and I've got to work tomorrow. One of my 2 days, and one of the 2 days that I work. I got to tell you, actually, don't hang up after this episode's over. I got to tell you something. That's funny.
You can't say that on the recording. What the hell's wrong with you?
I'll bring it up in the future when I can, but I can't bring it up online yet. For John Horton, I'm Kyle Pearson. Thanks for watching Attack of the Spotlight. Catch you again soon.